the Ravens. Listen, they have 5 losses by a combined 22 points. They're losing to teams like, the Chiefs. Number 1 total offense, number 2 rushing offense. Listen, they get penalized way too much. That is a problem. And their pass defense, what I don't like about this team, they're like a baseball team with a bad bullpen. They can outplay and lose. This team can outplay you, but on the back end, they are leaking so much oil that they can lose games they should win. So I think Baltimore is out of the Super Bowl bubble with the back end of their defense.
Number 6.
Okay, so I do not think that the Ravens are outside of the Super Bowl bubble. I really don't. I have my issues with the Baltimore Ravens, which I've aired out plenty. But these are one of the other few teams. Because the other teams, I really have a strong... I know who the Lions are. I know who the Eagles are. I know who the Chiefs are. I know who the Bills are. Like, a lot of these teams, I'm pretty confident who they are and what they can achieve. I'm confident who Lamar Jackson is, who Derrick Henry is, Flowers, likely, etc., Mark Andrews, who Harbaugh is as a head coach. But I'm actually really, really, really excited to still gather information on the Baltimore Ravens and who they are as a team and what they can achieve. I'm excited by what Lamar Jackson has said to the media, especially post-game after the Philadelphia Eagles lost. Like, I actually have this degree of, what is Lamar Jackson about to do? Like, what are the Ravens about to do? Maybe I'm too optimistic. Maybe I'm being a little naive. But it feels like there might be a shift with the Baltimore Ravens. And that's why I'm excited. I'm excited to see what do these games look like now. Is Lamar Jackson going to kind of change his game ever so slightly? Are they going to get back to what truly makes Lamar Jackson special? Are they going to get in the lab and make some moves? Do they understand now, hey, you know what? They can't trust their defense as much as they maybe would like. They can't even trust Justin Tucker as much as they would like. Do they start to kind of do things a little bit differently? And that's what you get to do during a bye. During a bye, you get to really reevaluate yourself. You get to diagnose and really dissect what you've been like as a team, which you haven't been able to do throughout the season. And I think it was Matt Hasselbeck who talked about that. Actually, I think on The Herd, where he kind of talked about the importance of a bye and doing all those types of things. So I'm excited. I think almost losing against the Eagles going into the bye was actually like the best thing to happen to them, because it was kind of like, guys, we are not as dominant as we wish we were. We clearly can't just win games casually like we once were able to do. Like, we can lose. We can lose to the Chiefs. We can lose to the Steelers. We can lose to the Eagles. Like, we can lose. We got 5 losses, man. We got to face the reality. We can't say all those losses are just because of bad luck and unfortunate events. Like, we lost these games. We did not do a good enough job to win. We got to figure out what can we do. And I just feel like they have that fire. And again, maybe it's wishful thinking. I don't know. And that's why I'm so excited to find out. I have not removed them from my Super Bowl bubble. I just haven't. It's just Lamar Jackson is still Lamar Jackson. He is still an animal. That dude right there is still an animal. And I don't know. I think we will find out. And maybe they are just limited from a personnel standpoint. Maybe the defense, maybe the coaching staff. I'm on the record really ripping the coaching staff a lot. And it's not to say that it's all falls on the coaching staff. Definitely some of the players as well. But, all the penalties and all of that drives me insane. I don't know if, I know they're a little banged up. I don't know if any of their injuries are kind of like, hey, they're going to really be able to kind of get healthy during this bye week and what's going on. I don't really keep up on the day-to-day injury report. That would just be, pretty much impossible. So if anyone knows, definitely please let me know. But I'm fascinated to see what they do outside of this bye. I really could see this team be one of those teams where they say, man, the Ravens have looked different since the bye, and then we'll be back to having those conversations of, can the Ravens do blah, 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 would the Ravens beat the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game? Who would want to face the Ravens? And especially if they don't end up winning the division and where the seeding lies, if they are like a 5, 6, whatever seed, then it is kind of interesting because then it's going to be like, that is bad luck for whoever won the division, wherever the seeding is. Like, that is bad luck to face the Ravens. I think no matter what, it's bad luck to face the Ravens, even if they don't have this big shift like I've been talking about. But to me, the Ravens are still very much on my radar, and I'm fascinated to see kind of how this continues to unfold. I just think there's still too much there, and I just believe too much in what they should and could be able to do offensively more than anything. I mean, just if you're not a Lamar Jackson or a Baltimore Ravens fan, but you're not a hater too, because then you're not gonna see it this way. And this is one of the benefits that I have of just being like a more general fan of like all these teams, right, and all these players, and really trying to look at it through a more neutral eye. I get to like see what it's like to like kind of cheer for a team and believe in for a team, also be skeptical of a team, be neutral on a team. And that's why, like, it's when Lamar Jackson does have the ball in his hands, like, there is still a truly scary, unsettling feeling of just like, I have no idea what's about to happen. Like, is this guy about to air out a 45-yard, beautiful pass down the field? Is he gonna rip off a 35-yard run? Like there's still that feeling of like, dude, anything can happen. Like, anything can happen. And I don't know if you really get that sense when you're like a true fan of like the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson, because like you're not gonna have that fear. Like, what I'm trying to say is like there's that fear of like, oh my God, what's about to happen? Like, is he about to pull this off? When if you're like a true fan, you're gonna like believe in it already. So I think it's just gonna hit a little differently because you're coming from a place more of support rather than this kind of like, oh my God. I don't think anyone on defense facing Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, feel comfortable, feel happy saying, oh yeah, we're going up against Lamar Jackson. This is great. We know how to stop him. I don't think anyone feels that way. And if you do, you're delusional. Honestly, you're delusional. He absolutely just gives fits to defensive coordinators and any sane defensive player. So I think as long as you have that going for you, as long as Lamar Jackson still strikes the fear in around the NFL, then you're always going to have that chance, as long as your team is just like good enough, quite frankly, right? I mean, obviously there's going to be different degrees of talent and greatness and level of play, but like as long as you at least have a team that's not just a complete disaster, like say the Cincinnati Bengals or like the Dallas Cowboys or New York Giants, like, yeah, then you're going to be a threat. You are going to be right there on the cusp, and I think we're about to really find that out over these, pretty much throughout the end of the season, and I'm pretty excited for it. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Baltimore Ravens? Do you think they're no longer in the Super Bowl bubble? Why or why not? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.